what is sure to be well received. As a luxury, it is universally appreciated, and because of this appreciation its value as a food is sometimes overlooked. During the war chocolate was valued as a compact foodstuff which is easily preserved. Dr. Gastineau Earle, lecturing for the Institute of Hygiene in 1915 on food factor in war, said: "Chocolate is a most valuable concentrated food, especially when other foods are not available. It is the chief constituent of the emergency ration." Its importance as a concentrated foodstuff was appreciated in the United States, for every comfort kit made up for the American soldiers fighting in the war contained a cake of sweet chocolate. There are a number of records of people whose lives have been preserved by means of chocolate. One of the most recent was the case of Commander Stewart, who was torpedoed in H.M.S. Cornwallis in the Mediterranean in 1917. He happened to have in his cabin one of the boxes of chocolate presented to the Army and Navy in 1915 by the colonies of Trinidad, Grenada, and St. Lucia, who gave the cacao and paid English manufacturers to make it into chocolate. He had been treasuring the box as a souvenir, but being the only article of food available, he filled his pockets with the chocolate, which sustained him through many trying hours. We have already seen the high food value of the cacao bean. What of the sugar which chocolate contains? Sugar is consumed in large quantities in England, the consumption per head amounting to 80 to 90 pounds per year. It is well known as a giver of heat and energy, and Sir Ernest Shackleton reports that it proved a great life preserver and sustainer in Arctic regions. Our practical acquaintance with sugar commences at birth, milk containing about 5% of milk and sugar, and when one considers the amazing activity of young children, one understands their continuous demand for sugar. Dr. Hutchinson, in his well-known Food and the Principles of Dietetics, says: "The craving for sweets which children show is, no doubt, the natural expression of a physiological need, but they should be taken with, and not between meals. Chocolate is one of the most wholesome and nutritious forms of such sweets." Both the constituents of chocolate being nourishing, it follows that chocolate itself has a high food value. This is proved by the figures given below. As with cocoa, we have first to know the composition before we can calculate the food value. The relative proportions of nib, butter, and sugar vary considerably in ordinary chocolate, so that it is difficult to give an average composition. There are sticks of eating chocolate which contain as little as 24% of cacao butter, whilst chocolate used for covering contains about 36% of butter. As modern high-class eating chocolate contains about 31% of butter, we will take this for purposes of calculation. Average composition and fuel value of English eating chocolate. Cacao butter. Composition 31.4 equals energy giving power 1,327 calories per pound. Protein. Total nitrogen 78%. Composition 4.1 equals energy giving power 76 calories per pound. Cacao starch. Composition 2.3. Other digestible carbohydrates, etc. Composition 6.4 together equal energy giving power 162 calories per pound. Stimulants. Theobromine. Composition 0.3. Caffeine. Composition 0.1. Mineral matter. Composition 1.2. Crude fiber. Composition 0.9. Moisture composition 1.0. Sugar composition 52.3 equals energy giving power 973 calories per pound. Total composition 100.0. Total energy giving power 2,538 calories per pound. In Snyder's Human Foods, 1916, the official analysis of 163 common foods are given. They include practically everything that human beings eat, and only 3 are greater than chocolate in energy-giving power. The result, 2,538 calories per pound, which we obtain by calculation, is lower than the figure 2,768 calories per pound for chocolate given by Sherman in his book on Food and Nutrition, 1918. Probably his figure is for unsweetened chocolate. The table below shows the energy-giving value of cocoa and chocolate compared with well-known foodstuffs. The figures, save for eating chocolate, are taken from Sherman's book and are calculated from the analysis given in Bulletin 28 of the United States Department of Agriculture. Food value of foodstuffs: cabbage, 121 calories per pound; codfish, 209 calories per pound; apples, 214 calories per pound; potatoes, 302 calories per pound; milk, 314 calories per pound; eggs, 594 calories per pound; beef steak, 960 calories per pound; bread, average white, 1,180 calories per pound; oatmeal, 1,811 calories per pound; sugar, 1,815 calories per pound; cocoa, 2,258 calories per pound; eating chocolate, 2,538 calories per pound. Food value of milk chocolate. The value of milk as a food is so generally recognized as to need no commendation here. When milk is evaporated to a dry solid, about 87.5% of water is driven off, so that the milk left has about 8 times the food value of the original milk. Milk chocolate of good quality contains from 15 to 25% of milk solids. Milk chocolate varies greatly in composition, but for the purpose of calculating the food value we may assume that about a quarter of a high-class milk chocolate consists of solid milk, and this is combined with about 40% of cane sugar and 35% of cacao butter and cacao mass. Analysis and fuel value of milk chocolate. Milk fat and cacao butter, 35.0, 1,480 calories per pound; milk and cocoa proteins, 8.0, equals 149 calories per pound; cacao starch and digestible carbohydrates, 3.0, equals 56 calories per pound; stimulants, theobromine and caffeine, 0.2; mineral matter, 2.0; crude fiber, 0.3; moisture, 1.5; milk sugar and cane sugar, 50.0, equals 930 calories per pound. Total, 100.0, equals 2,615 calories per pound. It will be noted that the food value of milk chocolate is even greater than that of plain chocolate. It is highly probable that milk chocolate is the most nutritious of all sweet meats. It is not generally recognized that when we purchase 1 pound of high-class milk chocolate we obtain 3/4 of a pound of chocolate and 2 pounds of milk. Chapter 9.